I want to ask first things first, T Mula. When you have a bio like that, what do you start with? Let's say if you were to introduce yourself to me and I didn't know you,
Hi, my name is Tapfuma T Mula. I'm an entrepreneur in entertainment business.
Oh, you're so humble. I would start by telling me, then BBC, then. Listen, tell us about being in entertainment business. And also, I do know that you do have a luxurious car rental company. So I want to ask, how do you match the two? How do you make sure that you make money? Because there's a lot of popular people out there without money, but how are you matching?
I think, it's just about seeing opportunity and moving with opportunity. There's a book that my dad made me read called Who Moved Your Cheese?
Who moved your cheese?
You should look for it, yeah. And it just talks about, like when your cheese is there and then you see Yagupera cheese, yeah, you need to find where the next cheese is.
Yeah.
So it's about just continuously like evolving and, seeing what's next in the space.
Yeah.
So obviously everything that I do now, I started off just as a musician, but from being a musician, I started seeing the value in production, and I started looking at how much money I spend to create content and shoot my own videos, and then I went behind the scenes, and then I've just been evolving as well, and I started learning about things that I needed in production, locations and props and this and that and action vehicles. And then, I planted myself in that space as well.
Tell me about the lifespan of a musician that you think is correct, especially if you apply it to Zimbabwean industry. Let's say if you're into hip hop. Time you know whilst they're still doing hip hop before they go to production or maybe spearheading a production company. How long do you think that should be?
I don't think there's an actual time period. I think it's just about, again, instinct, knowing that, okay, I've been getting $10 here consistently. Now it's $6. Now it's $3. It's time for me to change and see what else there is. And then if you see, I'm not saying close this side, but you see this side, there's a bit more. This side, when it's slow, you can come back. So there's no real time period, but I just always advise, especially musicians, because I do a lot of entertainment business consultancy as well. I have artists asking me about, advice with their careers and things like that. And I always tell them, just have, a wide scope of things that you do within your field. Don't make yourself stuck onto one thing. You cannot always be on stage and singing forever. You should be able to know other elements of the business.
I was about to say, I get the appeal that, you touch on different elements of the industry. Now, also, we must talk about you having organizing events, rather, and you do have one this particular weekend, Mangwana, actually. Talk to us about the event, which artists are coming. Talk to us about the heftiness of putting together an event like that as well.
It's been something in planning for at least 4 years. The 263 Culture Festival. So this year it's now called the Net 1 263 Culture Festival. It's a lot of work. We've got 8 artists coming. So it's 8 artists and their teams and dancers and this and that. And, there's a lot to it. But fortunately, this is our 2nd year doing it. So we've learned a lot from last year. And this year we're improving it to make sure it's a better show.
I must ask you, as an event organizer, now this is something that has been spoken about a lot, especially when it comes to the events that we're seeing a lot of people that are coming from outside of the country to perform here, and less of our own artists performing on the stages. Now, what say you about this, and why do event organizers prefer getting people from outside of the country to come and perform, yet we'll have an art like that in the country?
I think different promoters will have different opinions on that particular topic. But with us at, the Net 1 263 Culture Festival, one of our ethos starting this project was, how do we amplify our own voices, our own music, our own culture? How do we feed off a bigger industry that is next to us, above us, in the West, etc. And, how do we also give our people solid entertainment, you know what I mean? So that's how we came up with the concept to bring multiple artists, multiple entertainment at the same time. And we're finding ways of getting support from the corporate, so that Maria is Buddha aesthetic just from the people. You know, that's kind of how we've come up with our structure, and we're growing in that direction. We've got a lot to learn from our neighboring country in terms of South Africa, in terms of where their industry is. And I think it's good to feed off that, to get our local artists to meet up with them and mix up and stuff like that. So even at our event, we've got a good backstage where we get them to really interact. There's already some collaboration conversations that are happening between our local artists and our international ones. And our lineup, as much as we have 8 international artists, we've got 12 local artists.
Okay.
You know, so it's quite a balance. It's mixed up, and we haven't gone for the big household names only. We've tried to mix up some household names and some upcoming artists as well, to give them a platform. So if you look at our lineup, we've got artists like Tanta Wavy and Soon, you know, King 98, etc., who are doing well in their own, you know, respects. You know, yeah, but I think, you know, providing them with a platform like this, you know, it adds something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Konapo, Ipapo, Bazetian Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.